Yeah, I mean, it was a great day. It's great being around everyone again, having everyone back in the building. Just being able to see guys I've grown a connection with over these past 4 years and see them go out there do well was awesome. It was great cheering them on. Great being able to go out there, get a nice little sweat going. That was always good. And looking forward to continuing to train with the guys that are training here and continue just building relationships with guys.
What is this process like for you right now? You have combine, you're starting to creep up there on the mock drafts. What's it like, for you? Because you want to get to that day, but yet, still got to wait, still got to give you time. What's it like for you?
Truthfully, it's all in all, it's such a blessing to be just even in the position where I get to do pro day. I got to go to the combine. It's such a blessing to be able to do that, and I'm so grateful for God for giving me that opportunity and being able to take part in all those things. And I really try not to get stressed out about it, and I really feel like I don't, because I just try and take it one day at a time. Like today I wasn't worried about what drill do we have coming up. I was just out there having a great time with my friends, and I feel like when you're out there really enjoying things, there's no stress to be had. Like I was just having a great time.
Talk about training, I guess. Did you go to a facility? You've been training around here?
Yes, sir. Before the combine, I went to a place called Proactive out in California. It's in Thousand Oaks, probably an hour north of Los Angeles. It was a good time out there. Got to train with some guys, a little different area. Things look a little different, different training philosophies. And then after the combine, I've been training here with Coach Love, Coach Bruno, all those guys. Got to train with Walker, got to train with Ryan, Zaire, all those guys. It's been awesome. So I've really enjoyed my time training.
If you had to describe your NFL playing style in one word, what would it be?
Gritty. I feel like that's the best word. I want to be violent. I want to be physical. I want to finish blocks. I want to be the guy running to the ball. Like I want to play with grit.
Listen. Go ahead. All right.
Have you spoken with a lot of teams, and then talking with them, have they given you a feeling of like where they see you getting drafted?
I've been very fortunate to be able to speak to a lot of the teams, and I really try not to pay too much attention to, most teams don't really give you a concrete, hey, we think you're here, but I try not to pay attention to it too much. I'm not worried about that right now. I was focused on pro day right now, and then I'm going to be focused on being the best I can be and getting better, getting my body in better shape, keeping my weight where I need to be, and all that will sort itself out down the road if I take care of things, going forward today.
Among a couple of your teammates, you seem to be a favorite. What do you attribute that to, and how much fun is it to, play with these guys and be, mentioned as being one of the favorites to be around?
Well, it means a lot to hear that and hear my teammates think that of me, I should say. I really just enjoy being around everyone. I this past season I really tried to place an emphasis on just enjoying the little things. It's easy for things to become overwhelming, but when you really just think about the blessing that it is to be able to be out here with the Ryan Lithcombs, the Walker Parks, the Cade Klubniks, whoever it might be, like you just exude joy. And I've really had a lot of joy in this process, and I would assume that's probably why they feel that way, and it means a lot that they feel that way.
Talking about getting to the next level, are there any NFL players of the modern era, maybe of all time, on the offensive line that you kind of model your game after, look up to, just kind of use as inspiration?
Yeah, obviously, being a Cleveland guy, grew up watching Joe Thomas, just his consistency for his team. He's an Iron Man. He was out there. He always wanted to be on the field, and I really admired that about him. And then just doing what he did for as long as he did at the level he was able to was incredibly, incredibly impressive. Really wanted to be just like him in that regard. I like the physicality, swagger, creativity that Trent Williams plays with. Love the same thing, physicality, the speed, the just aggressiveness that Penei Sewell plays with. And then on a similar note to the Joe Thomas, just the explosiveness and then the consistency and the just technical soundness that Lane Johnson plays with. I look up to all those guys, and I think that they're incredible players.
Do you think about the opportunity that, as a kid growing up, you always dream about hearing your name be called out by the commissioner, and you're in that position to hear that?
Yeah, like I said, try not to think too much about it. It's down the road a little bit, but like I said earlier, it's just such a blessing to be in this position right now. Be in a position where people are here to come watch us do pro day, and people are, I'm at the combine doing interviews with teams that I watched growing up on TV. Like, it's such a blessing to be in this position. I'm so grateful to be here.
Is there any particular teams that have interviewed you the most or showed the most interest?
Really, I've had a chance to talk to almost everyone, and it's been awesome. I really enjoy the aspect of everyone's got something to offer. Everyone does things a little differently, and in these interviews, I try and pick up whatever I can, whether it's technique or how they identify fronts, how they go about blocking different fronts and running past. Like, just trying to take a little thing from every team and try and improve my knowledge of the game of football, because I feel like that, the more knowledge you have, it can only make you better.
As a fan of football your whole life, what's it like, kind of maybe slightly paying attention to what people say about you and mocking you in the first round, second round, like when you see other names in those situations and now it's you?
Truthfully, I try not to pay too much attention to it. I'm just focused on being the best Blake Miller that I can be, putting my best foot forward, and trying to refine my game as much as I can, refine my body as much as I can, just put myself in the best position so that whenever my name does get called, wherever I end up, I'm going to be able to go there, and really I'm going to have my best foot forward and be able to work as hard as I humanly can to be the best player I can be.
If you do get drafted in the first round, let's just say, you could carry a mantle. I think it's been 33 years since Clemson's had an offensive lineman go in the first round. What would that mean to you if that opportunity did occur?
It'd just be a tremendous honor, to be able to, have that for our university and all our coaches and staff that's poured into me over the years. It's a testament to them as well. And if that were the case, it'd just be such an honor.
Your hair was a lot shorter. Was that intentional?
You know what? I got my hair cut while I was out training, and I said, it's time to get this cut a little shorter. It's a little warmer out where I was training at, and switch it up a little bit. Just rolled with it from there.
Did you have to reintroduce yourself? Because people hadn't seen you without the...
I had a few people come up to me and say, like, I didn't know if that was you, but, whenever you try out a new look, I'm sure there's going to be a little bit of people getting used to it.
What have you enjoyed about this process? Like, what has maybe surprised you just a little bit? What have you really enjoyed about it?
Kind of like I alluded to earlier, being able to all these teams have something great to offer, and just being able to pick up bits of knowledge and how these teams kind of go about, like I said, identifying fronts, blocking fronts, how they set their protections, everything like that, and then just trying to learn as much as I can about this game. That's been a really fun part. I love to learn more and more about the game every day, and like I said, the more and more you learn about this game, the better and better you'll be.
Talk about being out here and just having fun and just stress-free and not really worrying about, anything major. Who do you attribute that to through the years as you was growing up, as you played this game to get to this moment?
You're talking about like just, having joy, not having a lot of stress. Truthfully, I feel like it's the guys that I have around me. You got Big Walker Park sitting right next to you. He's out there and I see him going out there and having a great time. And it makes me feel happy. It lets me have joy. And, when you have joy, you're not out there stressing out. Like, you're just out there having a great time, To me, I'm out there with my friends just trying to go and do the best that we humanly can. It's not out there and I'm stressing about doing this or doing that. That'll take care of itself if I'm out there and I'm putting my best foot forward with, joy.
Any other questions? Thank you, Blake.
Thank you, guys.